Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my episode or Yu-Gi-Oh episode or season 3 episode 101 review. Um, Continuing on where we left off from episode 100 since it's out and I watched it. Um, so this episode is called Galaxy Eyes. Um, So we are, back where we left off with this new character, um, who I guess does believe that you and Gon and Sylvio are the enemy and are part of Duel Academy, which they're not, and they tell them that they're not, that they're, we're not a part of them, and so they want to, they want to turn them into cards. He wants to turn them into cards, and because he believes that, and he's like, no, we're on the same. Yuya's basically saying we're on the same side, and we want to take them out, the duel academy, and Sylvia decides to challenge him to a duel because he won't listen to reason. So he challenges him to a duel. Eventually, Gong gets involved in the duel as well, which is a 2,000 life point penalty. Um, yeah, I still don't understand the concept of that. Then again, they got the duel arena thing that they do. With the action spell cards and stuff like that, which Kite is his name, which I'll get to that later. But Kite is like shocked by this. He's like, what is this? But he's still not phased. Like Yuya's Izzy's half, I guess, or the Exceed version of him. Um, Basically, tells him how, Kite, because Kite, he blurts out during the duel that, Kite is this experienced duelist, and he's like, how did I know what his name was? But it was the spirit of, Yuya's, Exceed half, that, basically told him this, and told him, what Kite was, and he used to be, a joyful duelist, and then now he isn't. He's just all hateful now, which to me is like, well, I mean, his whole dimension, his Exceed's dimension, was basically conquered by Duel Academy. So, isn't that how they're all supposed to act? So I don't get like why his Yuya's Izzy half is just like you know not like into this, like why is he doing this? For anyone who doesn't know, that hasn't watched season 2, which you should have by now, but all the Yuyas from each dimension are now inside of Yuya. The fusion version, the I believe Yogo, I believe they all have weird, very. I honestly, they should have just kept all their names the same, because they're like just so like was it Yugo was the synchro name for Yuya, as a synchro version. I don't remember what the other one was, but the fusion one was I don't remember. uh, the fusion version of Yuya, because that's and it seems it's only with Yuya and Zuzu. It seems to only be with them, because Zuzu has reincarnations of herself from each dimension as well. Her own, she has a fusion version of herself. She has a synchro version of herself, and she has a Aziz version of herself. We haven't seen the Aziz one yet, which I believe her name was Lulu. That's who they're still trying to find. Um, Selena is the fusion version, which she's now good, but she's been still forced upon her will back to Duel Academy, so we'll see what happens with her. Um, and then I don't know if the synchro one still think is in there. Um, so no, I think she's in. No, she would be. No, she's in Duel Academy. She's in Duel Academy. Selena's in Duel Academy. Um, Zuzu is with everyone else, but split up in the Exceeds dimension. I think she's the only one right now. I think everyone else is in Duel Academy right now. Think. Um, I think that's how it is right now. Um, so Zuzu would be the only one left right now, but she's right now in the Exceeds dimension. Um, but getting back on track here is Kite's dueling Gon, and she's fighting. He's dueling Gon and Sylvia. Sylvia acting cocky as usual because he's arrogant and whatnot. Um, you know, he takes away the monster which Gon was using to buy time. For anyone who doesn't know, I don't know if people have noticed, but Gon had Gong's voice, which it's not Chris Rager, but it sounds a lot like him. He has that Hercule uh, type voice, which I thought was a really interesting interpretation of his character. Um, was it? Oh, it was Tom Tom, right? I think it was Tom Tom, if I'm not mistaken, for the Exceeds, or not Exceeds, for not Exceeds, Synchros. The Synchros. I th- was yeah, I think she was. But then everyone got split up. Because everyone got split up then because of everyone got split up because of the whole thing that happened at the end of season 2. Um, but Zuzu's still good, so that's all that matters. Because I think they need her more than any of them. My theory is they need all of them, but I think they mainly need Zuzu because I think Zuzu is the lead of it all. That's what I think. Everyone, they need all of them together to combine all the dimensions. That's what I'm thinking. But Sylvia takes over the monster that Gon was just like, or Gong was trying to be like, we're trying to do this to buy time to convince him, that we're not the enemy. And Kite's like, you are the enemy, it doesn't matter, and whatnot, and you guys are gonna lose. And the Xyz half of Yuya is telling them that they're going to lose. It's going to happen. So they're doing pretty good against it for a while. They're summoning their monsters, doing the pendulum summoning, which that did throw Kite off for a little bit there, with the effect because he's not used to pendulum summoning. eventually he figures it out. He sacrifices one of his dragons to, you know, get eight, um, raise it up eight um, stars or whatever, and that allows him to exceed summon. And he's just all cocky, and he's like, there isn't gonna be a next turn, because they're like, don't worry, I'll just recover for next turn. He's like, there isn't gonna be a next turn, I'm taking you out now. And so he takes him out with the dragon there, and his Exceed dragon takes over the monster, and takes out Sylvia, and then takes out Gong. Um, it was a good duel, um, but I don't know why Yuya didn't get involved in the duel to begin with. I mean, obviously they were saving him for the next episode, but I don't get like why he wouldn't like participate since everyone else had already. So far, we haven't really seen anyone else come out the wins yet. We don't know where Zuzu is in the Exceed Summon. We don't know where Sora is, which I'm really upset about because I like Sora. I know Sora is like cool, yo. Like he is like the coolest. Like I like him better than Yuya. Like he's like really cool. Like Sora is like the shit, yo. Like I like his voice too. Like the voice of Sora. Like I said, his voice. Like I said in the last episode review, I think his voice sounds a lot like Kyuya from Hunter x Hunter, which is another anime I'm currently watching. I think their voices sound very similar, even though they're different voice actors. I think and I think the personalities of the characters are very similar, which is really interesting. Um, the way that they were brought up and stuff, and the way they act, they seem very similar in that sense. But I'm waiting for him to come back because we didn't have him a lot for season two. He was gone for a while and then started coming back towards the end there of season two. So I hope we get to see him a lot more in season three. We didn't get to see Alexis Rose in this episode, which I'm kind of upset about because I wanted to see Alexis Rose. Hopefully, I think the next episode will be coming out this weekend. So hopefully the episode will be out on time, unlike these last two episodes where they kind of were rushed in for us to finally get to see him. So I'm hoping we'll get to see him probably right after, a day after the release date. But duel was good. It's good to see the dueling again because the first episode was really mostly flashbacks from the previous season. So we'll see what happens. I already like the way, because I guess this season is going to be more in Exceeds, but then it's also going to eventually get to Duel Academy because, I mean, let's face it, that's where everything is, that's where the villain's hideout is, so eventually they're going to probably make their way to Duel Academy in this season, but I'm already liking this better than Season 2. Season 2, you guys know me, I'm not a fan of the synchro motorcycle bull crap. It's why I never liked 5Ds. I've never been a fan of that motorcycle concept of dueling. I thought it was the dumbest thing that they ever put into Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's why I thought 5Ds was probably one of the worst series until, of course, Zexal came around. I call it Yexel for obvious reasons, but they had a lot more. they had the duelings, the regular duelings, but they had a lot of the motorcycle shit, and I'm glad that they're not doing that in this season because they're not in the synchro dimension anymore. That was the one thing I took away from that, was that they were mostly in the synchro dimension in season two, so it was a lot of shit you had to you had to like endure basically. But it got better. I did like the plots and the way they were presenting everybody in it. Um, but I thought the duel was good, and the way um, the effects were good, and again, it's getting to see some of these new characters. Like I said, Kite seems to be a character that just doesn't care, even though they're good guys and he's supposed to be on the resistance. He doesn't. He still sees them as a threat for some reason. Uh, so we'll see what happens moving forward with these characters. But in the next episode, hopefully we'll get to see Alexis, because I think because at the end of this episode, what happened was Yuya stepped in front of Sylvia and Gong, who were knocked out after losing the duel. Um, Dueling logic, um, because the Kite was going to turn him into cards, and Yuya stepped in, and so now Yuya is going to duel them, and I'm assuming Yuya is going to win, or what's going to happen is Alexis maybe will be making an appearance. I'm hoping either Alexis or Sora, but I mean Sora making a sudden appearance right now out of the blue. I mean, actually, it actually would be kind of make sense for Sora, because Sora's kind of like the Sora's like the stealth guy of the group, which makes him even so much cooler. Like, he just like comes out of nowhere. He'll be just like hiding, and then you just like blend in and shit. Like, no one will ever know where Sora is and stuff. But I think this is where Alexis is going to come in. So I think my prediction is Alexis is going to be in the next episode, because she's going to stop them from fighting. That's what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking Alexis is one of the good guys. I'd like to think that. I'm assuming she is. I mean, come on now. She's Alexis Rose. Even though it's a different one, it's still the same. They're still having the similar personalities and stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking, and I'm looking forward to that and seeing Alexis Rose finally in this series. And I am very looking forward to seeing who the voice actor will be. If it will be the first. Let me see. Let's see. Alexis Rose. Well, yeah, we know about Alexis Rose. Who was? I'm trying to remember who it was. Because I know the first season, but their voices were actually similar because there was two of them. There was two of them. I don't know how to say it. Patty Everlyn. She was Alexis Rose for the first season. She also did a couple other 4Kids titles, too, for a couple other roles. But I know there was. Let's see. I'm trying to find out. I thought there was two, because her voice did slightly change, but not that much. I'm trying to find out. Yeah, they only tell you the first one, but there was definitely a second voice actor that did it. Alright, okay, so it was for season 2 and season 3, it was, I don't, Elizabeth McFarlane. Um, she was Officer Jenny. That's what it says according. That's what it says here. She was Officer Jenny. 2003 to 10. I don't know how she's been Officer Jenny until 2010 when they broke away from 4Kids in 2006. Yeah, she was Alexis Rose from episode 27 to episode 155. And the other person did the first season. So it's either going to be one of those two. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking because they did the same with Jack Atlas. Jack Atlas was voiced. The guy who voiced Bakura was the guy who voiced Jack Atlas in 5Ds, and he voiced him in. He voiced the alternate Jack Atlas in this series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. So it's either going to be one of those two. Prissy Everlyn. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong. She voiced Alexis the first season. Elian Marfarlin voiced Alexis for the first 2 seasons. So it's going to be one of those two that's going to voice the English, I'm assuming, English voice actor, unless they get someone else, because they can't get either of those two to voice Alexis. I really hope they bring it, because I liked her Alexis voice. I liked both of them actually, because they both sounded similar. Alexis sounded similar in both seasons. Like the two voice actors that voiced them, they both sound similar. So I'm okay with either one of them, because they sounded similar. Her voice didn't change at all, really. A little tiny bit maybe if you really try to hear it, if you try to go up close to it, but that's about it. But that's what I'm looking forward to for the next episode. But yeah, overall good review, or a good episode. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think's coming up in the next episode? Obviously, we're only watching the English dubs, so we're keeping it consistent with the dubs. So no spoilers from the Japanese version. I don't even know if it's out in Japan. It probably is already. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. Then again, I don't think people really consistently look it up like they do with like Dragon Ball Super, so I don't think that we're gonna have to worry about that. But that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video or any of my other videos, please subscribe. And again, if you like this video, give me a like. It really helps me out. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.